Well, hello. I'd like to welcome you to another exciting episode of Pens in Use. This is the show where I talk about the fountain pens and inks that I've been using through the week. I'm a little delayed this week, a little discombobulated because I'm dealing with an automotive situation. And for a guy who walks everywhere, that darn thing should behave itself. But it's visiting the car hospital right now. So let's dive into the pens. If videos like this interest you, where I talk about fountain pens, both new and old, and at all price points, I would invite you to subscribe. And hey, are you dealing with a car situation? Maybe we can commiserate. Right? I think I used that word wrong. Comment down below. I had a topic that just slipped my mind as soon as I started filming. Let's take a look. Alright, the pens that I'm using this week. I have a Rotring core. Yes, in its second outing, and I realized that when I took the sticker off, I didn't finish the job. So, there is that. Did I say Rotring core? I meant a Rotring Renaissance. Wow! I am off my game today. This is a Lamy 80. I'll tell you when I get to it why this one's out. This is a Vitosha, a fun Bulgarian pen, which this is my first piston filler I've ever fixed, and it's on its second outing. A Twizz B Mini. I forget what I filmed a couple of weeks ago, but several in the comments brought this pen up, and I thought, I have not used that pen in a long time, so here it is. My Lamy 2000, about ready to go to have its summer hibernation. Inco, which is a Polish, which is a Polish pen. I think on its second or third outing. This is a Platinum Procyon, which I know is on its third outing. Second ink, because I refilled it with the same ink before. Dolcevita Masterpiece, which I've filled it enough, I know, to review it, but I don't know if I'll be reviewing it for a while yet. The Ethan pen, which, if you were watching this week, you would have seen this was my first impression this week. And finally, I don't remember what fill it's on, but my PenBBS 266. So those are the pens that I'm using this week. We'll do a little writing sample. As always, I'm using my upside... What the heck? Okay, wow. A squid confused me. I don't normally see him. You're supposed to see him. As always, we'll be using my Beaumont art journal. We'll begin this journey with my Rotring Renaissance. This is one of the slim black pens I like. This one is a lot newer than a lot of the ones I've bought. This is probably from the 80s or 90s. Rotring literally means red ring, and there it is. Screw cap pen. Nice ink window there, segmented. And I think this may be my only pen with two breather holes in its nib. This is a double broad. And let's see how it writes. The ink I chose for it is Noodler's Apache Sunset. As you'll see, the Apache Sunset is in another one of these pens, but not agreeing with it, not showing the inks or the pen's best qualities. But I think this pen does a decent job showing it off. And it's been reminding me how much I like the pen. In fact, this pen is going to be part of a theme, except one of the parts of the theme got written empty before today. Seniors graduate this week. Sunday is our graduation, if you're wondering. 35 seniors. I think you all know that I teach in a small school. So I always, for the seniors who give me a graduation announcement, I always write a personal note. And I give them of course, I do a lot of photography, so I've collected pictures of them over the years, so I give them a link to a gallery of their pictures. So anyway, this is one of the pens and inks I was using to write those letters. I got to mix it up just for my sake. My next pen is one there was a first impression I did sometime over the winter. I was still downstairs using the green screen. This is a Lamy 80. You'll still see a few more videos, by the way, from the green screen showing up because I have a lot of first impressions filmed because I can't wait to try the pens out. And so a lot of them were filmed down there. So I'm not ending the green screen, but it's going to be used for a different purpose in future videos. This is a fun pen that kind of reminds me of the Lamy 2000. This is another pen like the Rotring Renaissance that I was using to write letters to seniors. I was using the sparkly inks and 2 Noodler's pens, but that came to an abrupt end because I got sick of those pens. So this is a Lamy 80 with a double broad gold nib. And the ink in it is one of my favorites, which sadly is no longer made, Montegrappa Bordeaux. It's just a nice understated red color. I just like wine. Well, I don't even know if I want to say wine. It's just a very beautiful, beautiful ink. Kind of reminds me of, oh shoot, I have a pen pal who wrote to me with it, Antique Raspberry, and it had kind of an old-fashioned name for the brand, and then the brand just disappeared when I went looking for the bottle. Oh, I think it starts with a C, but yeah, it's slipped my mind. This is my very first piston repair. What I did is I put 2 rubber O-rings around where I had a cork piston that had shrunk and held nothing. This is a Vitosha. This is a Bulgarian brand. Vitosha is I believe it's a mountain outside of Budapest is in Hungary. Sofia, the capital of Bulgaria. And you can see when I do its review, I'm going to have to find a way to photograph this. Maybe I'll insert an actual photo. But you've got Vitosha there and kind of a drawing of the mountain, it seems. So, a little bit of art. Kind of a neat finial, actually. The other finial is just plain. The nib, I'm pretty sure it's steel. Interestingly, like several of these Iron Curtain pens, made in the USA. So, this is a Vitosha. This one cannot get turned very far to the side. It has definitely been ground to an italic of some kind. I don't know. Oh, I am not giving this pen enough credit. Holy cow. Oh, no, I am. Ha! I saw the 14 karat and I thought, wait a second, I'm wrong. 14 karat gold plated. Yeah, okay, so I was right all along. So it's a Vitosha, and this is the other pen with the Noodler's Apache Sunset. During its first foray into life, after I repaired it, I filled it with Parker Quink washable blue just in case it erupted, but it didn't, so I'm living a little more dangerously now, but it doesn't give the nice character of that ink. You know, look, compare that to how the Rotring Renaissance shows it. I just disappointed with this ink in this pen. This next pen is a Twizz B Mini. Not the VAC Mini, just the regular Mini. It's a pocket pen. A while back I did I guess a review of the, wow, of Moonman Mini 1 Kai. And I just asked about, I don't know, it was to get people to comment, favorite pocket pens. And this was one that was mentioned quite a bit. Mine has a 1.1 millimeter stub nib on it. I don't really remember why I ordered that for a pocket pen, but I did. I think I'm cleaning something else out of the pen because this is Noodler's Concord Bream, which is supposed to look a lot like those old dittos. Wow, Condor. But it has definitely kind of a reddish cast to it, and there's a little reddish staining there, right in the where the cap screws on. I don't remember what ink I had in it last, but anyway, that ink apparently stained it, and apparently didn't clean completely out of the nib. Pen hygiene seems to be a theme for my pens lately. I have a Lamy 2000. This is my daily writer, carry with me everywhere pen all school year. And this year it's had a rough year because the one I've been using for years fell nib first onto the floor back near the start of school. So I had to buy a new one eventually. I replaced the nib and everything, but it leaked. I have some stuff to repair leaks, Captain Tolly's something or other. So I'm going to try that on it. But in any case, this is not the same Lamy 2000. I don't care for the way this one writes quite as well as I did the one I had. I don't know. But from what I've read, Lamy nibs can be not quite always the same. So it's a Lamy 2000. I still like how it feels. It just doesn't write quite the same. The ink in it is Pelikan Brilliant Black. Why this ink? Well, mainly because I bought a large bottle of ink to fill pens that I give away, and I realized after I bought it, holy cow, that's a large bottle of ink. Black is the only ink color that I reliably use up every year and usually have to buy 1 or 2 bottles. Yeah, I don't think that will be an issue for a few years. And that's even with giving pens away. This is my Inco. This is a Polish brand. Not the flashiest pen, but, it's Polish. Make sure it's right side up. It's hard for me to tell. So you can see Inco made in Poland. And the nib, also made in the USA. And this is another pen that I was using to write graduation letters. And I think you can see why. This is just a fabulous Oops, now you can't see why. Now you can. This is just a fabulous combination of a great color and a nib that really shows it off. Monteverde Turquoise. Which actually, I only put this ink in it because now, if I want to talk about an Achilles heel on this pen, let me cap it first. I absolutely hate the filling mechanism. It's hard to grip, and because the pen is old, it's gotten a little warped. Maybe you can see that. And so the piston is very sticky, even with silicone grease. So, as much as I enjoy writing with this pen, I hate filling it. So I thought maybe putting a lubricated ink in it might help. But from what I understand, lubricated means different things to different manufacturers. Noodler's, the lubrication is for the piston parts. Other ones apparently has to do with how the ink flows out of the pen. So that may not have been the clever choice. My Platinum Procyon. This is a pen I bought on impulse. I think you know that mostly I've been buying vintage pens. I'm not a regular customer of Goulet pens, for example. Nothing against Goulet pens, but I just don't buy much from them because I like vintage pens. But this one I believe I bought from Noodler's pens, or Goulet pens. This is a modern Platinum Procyon. It's a pen I'm very pleased with. It's attractive. It's comfortable. I just like it. This is also one of those pens where you have to, or I'm sorry, this is one of those inks where you have to have the list, so you can't see it anymore with the way I've set up my cameras, but I have my laptop with Evernote open right now with the page that I'm going to copy and paste into the YouTube video description that has the name of the ink on it, because I can't remember most of the names of these inks. Birmingham pens. Pennsylvania Canal Sapphire Tributary. I do like the color change on this ink. God, I'm using 3 lines for one ink. The 2 inks that they have some interesting colors, and I related my story about them last week. And when I finally published the first impression of their pen, you'll get to hear the story in more detail. But the 2 I really like from them, I love the Panther Blue, the Cathedral of Learning, and I think a lot of that has to do with the name. I'm a teacher. Something called a Cathedral of Learning just fires my imagination. And it's a nice color. You gonna see it tonight? You will not. It's in a pen. I must have used it up. But anyway, I just love that ink. Another one that I really like, because somebody sent me a sample and got me addicted to it, is Allegheny River Twilight. Allegheny River headwaters are near my hometown in Pennsylvania, Coudersport, if you're interested. The Allegheny River runs through Coudersport. It's not very pretty in Coudersport because it's in a concrete canal, but that's for flooding reasons. If you've ever seen Coudersport, you'll know why. But I just attached to it. I used to work right on the shores of the Allegheny River, actually. I worked at a place that's still there, Fox's Pizza in Coudersport. So, there's a little personal history of me that was unscripted. This is my Delta Dolcevita masterpiece. I find it interesting when a pen company calls their pen a masterpiece, but anyway, it's a let's see if it'll focus on this. Yeah, Delta Dolcevita masterpiece. And I don't know, does that mean it was part of a limited edition that's got a number on it? I don't know. I like the pen a lot. This fusion nib is just a silly gimmick. But that said, as a steel nib, it writes quite well. I have a yellow Baron Fig notebook. I've been trying to write with all yellow inks in it. I've forgotten a couple of times and slipped something else in. But right now, this is the only yellow in my pen's inked, so I need to get something else inked with a yellow. It's another one of those Birmingham Pens inks that I can't remember its name. And once again, I'm going to need 3 lines just to fit this whole ink name in. They love their long names. I didn't watch the sunrise this morning. I was up in time for it, but it's cloudy and overcast here. But I'm pretty sure from memory that sunrises aren't quite that color. But as I remember, it has the name of the ink has more to do with this Chuck Cooper than anything. And I don't really follow baseball, so it's already slipped my memory what it is, who he is. This is a Ethan pen. This was given to me actually by a student last week, one of those 35 seniors that's graduating. He's one that I've taught since 8th grade, and he makes fountain pens, and this is one of the ones he made. And it's fun because it has a magnetic closure. Yes, it's a kit pen, but as somebody in the comments pointed out, aren't a lot of pens because they don't even make their own nibs or feeds. They just turn acrylic. I mean, well, it's true. Let's see here. Ethan pen. If he ever sees this, hopefully he knows who he is. This is a Colorverse ink. And the ink is actually Interstellar Space. Which to my mind should have been a black ink with a name like that, but there is probably a reason they made it kind of an off green. All right, and my final pen for this week is this PenBBS 266. Has just a very nice finish on it. I'm not... well, let's just write with it. I'll tell you what I think. I just realized I might be confusing pens because without realizing it, I bought 2 of these. This one and one with a BBS. Wow, screwed that up. One with a very different, very attractive finish. This one is more restrained. This is by far the better writer. The other one's kind of scratchy. So the ink is another Birmingham pens. And I feel like every time I use this ink, I need to explain. No, I didn't misspell Pittsburg. Because there's a whole story behind the name of this ink related to the H that's supposed to be on the word Pittsburg. And you can kind of see it in the name H. Astray. For a while, Pittsburg was in the postal service without the H. So those are the pens and inks that I'm using this week. I started to wonder why I keep having the habit from the green screen of resetting my my writing sample after the camera flips back to me, but I had the experience this week of I was down to my last stored up review. I mean, last week of school I was busy, so I was not going to film a review this week, and I was down to that one that had no A-roll, which is what the footage of me would be called. Because I don't know why. I filmed it, but the file could not be read. Could not be played in my computer. It just somehow was corrupted. So I did it without it, and suddenly I was very glad that I very neatly set my B-roll up. So I will continue that. Of course, it'll probably never happen again, but I'll continue that habit because of that reason. My desk chair did arrive for this new desk, and I'm realizing that it's still noisy. It's noisy in a different way from the chair that I was using downstairs, but definitely still a noisy chair. So I don't know how much that gets picked up by the microphone. I guess we'll see. But anyway, those are the pens and inks that I'm using this week. We had last day of school yesterday. I decided I was going to film Thursday night, but I didn't because, well, that's when I discovered that my car wouldn't start. So today, done the whole dealing with the garage thing, and it's down. It's a Toyota at the Ford garage because we don't have a Toyota dealer in this small town. So hopefully the Ford people can make it work. My feeling is it's just a dead battery, but I don't know. That's one of the reasons this will be a late upload. I'm finally filming this, and I'm going to walk down after filming this to go collect the car and collect a huge amount of mail. And I say huge because I haven't been clothes shopping in a while. Our clothing store is out of business here in this town. I can't even go to Dickinson really and buy clothes, and I haven't been able to get there anyway, which may be just as well because I'm glad that this car wouldn't start in my driveway rather than up in Dickinson. But although there's a Toyota dealer up there, so there is that. But anyway, so I ended up having to not support a local merchant because there isn't one to support anymore. I had to buy my clothes online, and so yeah, because I hate clothes shopping, and I really don't think of it until I'm like, oh, I'm down to one pair of jeans that's not ripped. Oh, you can see through all my dress shirts. I mean, literally, I think I'd be sent home if I didn't wear a t-shirt under them. So I'm doing it in batches, and I don't really need too many dress shirts till next year, but I need to do better about that, just buying clothes. Anyway, so that's one of the things I'm buying or picking up is a big clothing order. And dress pants too. I put a knee through one or two pairs. One I bent down to get something out of a drawer and and the one good pair I have is black, but it looks more gray. And I realized that if I'm not wearing my belt, it's going to be around my ankles. So apparently I've lost weight through the winter. So, yeah, I had to buy a belt because I was pretty much having to constantly pull my pants up. And, I realized I can, pull them out away from me and say, oh, I've got room. So I know it's a good thing, I guess, that they're too big. But still, that's another reason why I need to replace some pants. So, yeah, I try to support local merchants, and now I'm going to get on a bit of a soapbox. So I guess this wasn't going to be my topic, but now it is. I think it's important to support your local businesses. Now, in fairness, they need to do their job to support you too. But I live in a town that's 90 miles away from anything of any size, and we just need those retailers here because it is a long flippin' drive to get anything. I mean, that's almost 3 hours out of my day spent in a car just to go shopping. And I hate shopping. So I feel it's important to support local businesses. The other good thing is I support local businesses. We keep the local economy more diversified. And we keep those things here that attract people to live in a place in the first place. And when I first looked at this town, what attracted me was everything was right there on Main Street. There was, well, at the time, 2 clothing stores. There was a drugstore. There was a discount store, kind of like a small-town Walmart. It was called Duck Walls. There was a really nice hardware store on Main Street. Well, I guess there was an antique shop that closed like the summer I moved here. But everything, movie theater, 2 grocery stores, restaurant, some bars. I realized yesterday I have never been in. We as a staff, we were going to meet up in one of them after school was out, but I didn't end up joining in because and this is before I discovered the car situation, but I had other work to do. So don't worry, I was going to walk to the bar. But the car thing, was after that. I thought, well, I guess I didn't go down there, so I'm going to run out to the grocery store, which is no longer on Main Street, and pick up some chicken and make myself a really nice supper. Nope. It just clicked when I put the key in. So But anyway, everything was right there on Main Street. Ford dealer and a Chevy dealer. That was something else that was on Main Street. Auto parts down there somewhere. But since then, both clothing stores are gone. There is a new one, but it's not really clothing for me. Actually, I take that back. There are two clothing stores. One is a women's clothing store, and it's in the women's half of the clothing store. It went out of business. The other one's more kind of a touristy Western wear store. Again, not much for me at either of those shops unless I get a wife or something. But the hardware store moved out of town. It's now a place where you have to drive to it. I mean, you can walk, but it is a long walk, and if you're buying very much, you don't want to carry it back. And you have to walk along the highway where there's no sidewalk or anything, which is more interesting in the winter. So I'll walk out there in the summer and things, but not during the winter. The one of the grocery stores that was on Main Street moved out next to it. The discount store that used to be on Main Street moved out to the same location, and now that has gone out of business entirely. It turned into an Alco, and then it turned into a Shopco, and Alco went out of business. Shopco bought it. Shopco went out of business, and now we have nothing. So that's sitting empty. I said the hardware store moved out. I'm trying to think. Oh, the other grocery store looks like it'll be closing because suddenly it couldn't compete against a new fancy grocery store. And, in fairness, it did not have the selection. So that's going now, too. It's just that town I moved to that I loved because it was so walkable isn't anymore. So, I don't know. I guess I'm a little depressed about various things. Maybe it's that car this morning or yesterday that really set me off. But anyway, I'm pretty hopeful it's just the battery because they haven't called me yet, which is a good sign. And they were able to jumpstart it and get it going and drive it to the garage. So I'm hoping just the battery. And in fairness, the battery is about 11 years old. It was last put in by a business which is also no longer on Main Street. So, and the Chevy dealer's gone now too. So I'm glad the Ford dealer's still there, or else, it might be in a little bit of trouble getting the car fixed. So, I could do a whole story about rural decay. In fact, I did a driving video series where I got into that a little bit. And I want to get back into doing some of those driving videos. I've been learning a lot about YouTube this winter, and my loss of my footage was the big reason you haven't seen any, because with my job I just haven't been able to get anywhere and drive, so I don't have a whole lot of footage. I have some now, mainly a trip to Dickinson, but it's better than nothing. So then it was, how do I make a driving video with no footage? So I got out of the habit. But I want to finish up my teacher salary or teacher shortage videos. I've got one more research-based one, then one more editorial. And there's some other topics I want to explore. So maybe you'll see them back. I just, like I said, it's just losing the footage really crippled me for making driving videos when you don't have any driving to put it behind a video. And I've been learning a lot this winter about YouTube and how to do a YouTube channel. And one of the big things they keep pointing out is got to keep your channel on topic. If nobody knows what to expect, then it doesn't work so well. But I think my tactic of scheduling everything has helped. That Monday at 3, usually, not this week, because, I filmed that Birmingham Penn's video. That was my planned upload. And then when Ethan gave me that pen, I'm like, oh no, we're doing this pen. So at school, I know I was using a school computer. I canceled the, because I upload these and schedule them ahead to just release when they're supposed to. I canceled it and put it far off into the future. I'll probably move it to next week. But anyway, I moved it to a different date. And then I came home and filmed my Ethan video, but I filmed it late at night, so I didn't get it uploaded till Tuesday morning, so that's why that one was late. But yeah, I'm rambling. I guess I'm a little happy school's over with, but anyway, so I got that one uploaded late. But usually Mondays at 3 my time. You'll have the first impressions videos. Wednesdays 3 my time, you're going to have a review. And then on Fridays at 3 my time, except for today, for Toyota Camry related reasons and my laziness about getting around to filming this, you'll get Pens in Use. And then I always did my driving videos on Sunday mornings at 8 a.m. And I'm kind of thinking, as I said that, Alux, which is a YouTube channel I sometimes watch, does their Sunday inspirational videos. So and that's where my whole Pens in Use theme is coming back into it, to justify, I don't just review pens, I write with them and do things with them quite a lot. And occasionally you see some of that. Research is a big one. I just enjoy researching a topic and writing things down. I've been researching organization and productivity a lot and putting it into practice, which has been helping me a lot. And I want to start doing a series on that. And again, that's a Pens in Use thing, but I've got summer. I got a lot more free time. So what I'm probably going to do is batch film a whole bunch of them. And that's where the green screen will come into it. Because I feel like that's not a this set type of thing. That's one I might want to... Oh, sorry. What the heck? Okay, I am so disoriented from how my set was downstairs. I want to say it was over this shoulder. Anyway, in front of the green screen, I would put my slides or whatever. I'm not going to do PowerPoint because, my God, I hate those presentations where somebody's reading their PowerPoint to you. But I think a few visuals to go with that would be very helpful, whether as B-roll or with me over my shoulder. So that's where the green screen will be reappearing. I don't know that it added much to the experience of pen reviews, other than you could see the pen while I was talking. I didn't really interact with the green screen at all, and I think maybe I could. So anyway, summer's here. I'll have a lot more free time. I'm going to batch film a bunch of videos, and thanks to some suggestions when I destroyed that hard drive that had all the footage on it, the driving video footage, I want to say it was 13 reviews stored up. All of that footage anyway, and plus a bunch of personal files, gone forever. Thanks to some viewer comments, I now back all my video up on Dropbox.com. Not an endorsement, as I've mentioned to a few of my viewers who've asked about, my financial relationship with various companies. I don't have one. I'm a satisfied customer of Dropbox. I've been using it for years in my teaching career. I pay for it. I pay for the premium version? I think it's called premium. I don't remember. Anyway, I pay for that yearly because I use it so much. I thought, well, heck, I might as well use it for personal use too, since it's my money and I'm paying for it. I don't back the videos up to the school computer with it. On the school computer, it doesn't hold the videos. The videos are all on the server. They're not on my personal laptop either, because by now I think the hard drive would be full of video. But that's thanks to those viewer comments and that accident. That's now where I keep all the video footage. That's where this will go. And it's been nice. A few times I've been able to, I want to use this bit from this video. There it is, after I download it. So I'm very happy with that. That's worked out well. And I think that'll be very handy for driving video footage too. Yeah, I guess I don't have anything more to say on that topic really. But I just like that. You may also notice I use Evernote. I want to talk about that one of these days. But, the close-ups that you're going to see, the rating sample here, I'm going to, as soon as I'm done filming, photograph them with my cell phone and upload them to Evernote. Why? Because Evernote is such a great way to store information and retrieve it quickly. And as a bonus, one of the ways it can be used to share information is it'll turn the note into a web page. Google could do that too. What is it, Google Docs? I did it once with Google. I don't remember what it was called. But I like Evernote because, well, I just do. Because I've always been doing my show notes on Evernote, so it just seems natural to put the photos in with the show notes. So that's what I now do. And I had a pen blog. I could restart it. I haven't taken it down or anything. That, I'll bet, is my car. So, we're going to close. Thank you. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.